Namaste. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the fire class of our 5 Elements series. This class is based upon the yogic concept of Tapasya. Now, Tapasya is made up of a core word, which is tap, and tap is that which generates heat. And I'd like to give you an example of what that is, and we can do it together. So take your hands and clap them together and start to rub them fast and vigorously. Keep going and keep going, and you'll start to feel the heat building in your hands. Good. Keep going and keep going, keep going, and stop. Feel the heat in your hands, and maybe just start taking your hands 1 or 2 inches apart. And as you hold them, gently bring them closer together, but not touching, and then back apart. And you're probably going to notice the energy between the hands, almost as if there's a magnetic energy that is pulling them together and apart. So within this simple exercise is the core idea of why we would engage tapasya. Because life creates resistance and it creates friction in order to produce transformation. This is part of the transformative process. So from a yogic perspective, we want to invite the challenging or difficult situations in our lives as a way to use them to change our patterns, our conditioning within our body, our mind, and our emotion. And when we intentionally engage tapasya, it actually brings a deeper sensitivity to our life process. And the element of fire, there's no better or greater example of this than in the digestive system of our body. When our digestive fire is too low, it's hard to be able to take the food that we're bringing in and then transform it into valuable nutrients for our life process. So when we lift or strengthen our digestive fire, we have a greater capacity to metabolize the inputs that are coming into our life in the form of food, and then to be able to process them and then use them to construct or build our body, break them down more effectively into the nutrients that are going to nourish us. It's the same thing with our inner fire. And this inner fire, which is associated with our will, with our presence, and our attention, helps us to digest the food or the inputs of life in our situations and relationships and transform them into food to fuel and power our growth. So today's class, we're going to be doing some pranayama, and we're going to be doing some yoga asana, and then a brief bit of chanting in order for us to engage this principle of tapasya. So thank you for choosing to be here today in this 5 Elements series. You'll be able to see more information about how to participate in our giveaway in the link below. So let's just get straight into the class. Start with a comfortable meditative position, relaxing the shoulders from the ears. Breathing in, I'm aware of breathing in, and breathing out, I'm aware of breathing out. Notice that the breath arises out of stillness, expands, condenses, and then returns to stillness. And that this oscillating pattern of the breath, of expanding, condensing, and pausing, is really the same oscillating pattern of all life. Bringing a first mantra for our class, which is an English one: wherever there's attention, bring attention. Wherever there is tension, bring attention. So just noticing where tension is in the body. There's some kind of resistance or some kind of holding pattern, and simply bringing attention there. And you may notice that without a specific effort, just by bringing attention to this place, there's a slight relaxation. Allowing your breath to deepen. My heart and my will are one. Bringing your attention down to your heart. Bringing the mind into the heart. As you do, notice if your attention is now anchored and linked to this will, connected to our heart center. And when you're ready, I invite you to open your eyes. Very good. So our first breath is called the lion's breath. I'll do one demonstration. This is a very powerful cleansing breath. A great thing to do first thing in the morning. And you've been lying horizontal for a number of hours. And so we want to put out the excess carbon dioxide that's been built up in the lungs. And so it looks like this. So with this breath, you're going to do a full exhale, open the tongue, creating as much space in the passageway as you can. Open the tongue and fold forward, and you want to visualize that your torso is like a tube of toothpaste. And you know when you've got just that little bit of toothpaste in there and you've got to roll it to just squeeze the last little bit out the top? That's what you're doing with this breath. And so you're going to put everything out, and then you're going to come up and take a deep inhale, maybe your deepest breath of the day. Are you ready? Let's begin it together. Breathing in and all the way out. All the way out, all the way out, all the way out. Keep folding. Good. Coming back up. Take a deep breath in. Even a little bit more. And exhale, release. Very good. Just taking a moment to register the effect of that breath in the body. And then let's come to our next breath called Kapalbhati, which means skull shining breath. And this is going to bring us illumination and build a healthy and strong fire within the body. It's a great cleansing breath and also good for the digestive system. So with this breath, you're going to do a sharp exhalation out of the nose, and the inhale happens by itself. So you're not forcing the inhale, you're pressing out on the exhale with the nostrils. So I'll give you a little example. You should be able to hear me. So the in-breath is happening, but your focus is on the out-breath. And you might imagine a candle that is flickering in the wind. And so your belly or your abdomen is going like this. Think of it kind of like a spring. You press a spring down, but then the bounce back happens on its own. So you're doing the same thing with the breath here. We're going to do our first round of Kapalbhati. Relax the shoulders away from the ears. Take a breath in. Breathing out. And beginning the exhalation, starting, remember, with the nostrils. And deep breath in. And fully exhale. And just relax. Very good. Let's do another round. This time, at the end of this pranayama, you're going to breathe in and hold the breath in for a while. Okay, let's begin. Breathing in and breathing out. Remember to keep your mouth closed and just focusing the breath on the out breath through the nostrils. Ready? Let's begin. Deep breath in and holding the breath at the top of the exhale. Bring the attention at the point between the eyebrows. Relax the shoulders away from the ears. And holding for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and breathing out. Coming back to your natural breath. And bringing your attention to your skin and maybe just 1 inch above and around your skin. Perhaps you can feel that same magnetic quality, a little bit more sensitivity to energy, just like we did when we started the practice with our hands together. So effectively, this pranayama, this tapasya, help to build this sensitivity and flow of energy in the body. Good. Let's come onto all fours now. Walking the hands out and coming into child's pose. As you're here in child's pose, practicing something very important in yoga called back body breathing. As you inhale, feel the breath coming and filling the kidneys and the lower back, the mid back, and the upper back. And you'll notice that when you inhale, you can feel that the back body is expanding. The kidneys in the lower back, the mid back, and the upper back. And then as you inhale, come up. And then as you exhale, come forward and down into Bhujangasana Cobra pose. Press the tops of the feet into the floor. Roll the shoulder blades back and down. Good. Inhale, coming back up to center. And exhale, coming down into child's pose. Continuing this movement, and the invitation here is to play a little game that your breath is guiding your movement. Imagine your breath as your dance partner in this simple vinyasa. Inhaling to center and then exhaling down. Good. Last one, coming back to tabletop. Press the left hand into the floor, and as you do, sink your weight through the left hand, and then send the right arm across the chest and up towards the ceiling. Don't come fully into the stretch yet. This is a very common mistake in yoga asanas. You try to go all the way right at the beginning. Come to maybe 70 or 80%. Then as you inhale, feel the breath slightly lift the chest. And then on the exhale, yield your weight into the floor between the left hand and lengthen and reach through the right. Check that your core is soft and that you can feel the breath enter into the belly. Breathing into the belly. On the exhale, rotating from the navel center to open the heart and chest to the side of the room. Good. And then release the hand down. Okay. Let's try this on the other side. Press the right hand into the floor. As you sink your weight into the floor through the right hand, let the left arm float up towards the ceiling. Don't come all the way. Inhale, breathe into the belly. Exhale, give your weight to the floor through the right hand. You'll feel a rebounding force coming to help you lengthen and reach through the left as you rotate from the belly to open the heart and chest to the side of the room. Very nice, and slowly coming down. Very good. Walking the hands out and pressing into a downward facing dog. Here in downward dog, just gently walking out the feet. Imagine an X traced across the back. And as you press the right palm into the floor, you're lengthening through the opposite heel. As I press my left palm into the floor, I lengthen through the right heel. So you're walking it out here. Feel that latitudinal stretch through the body. And walk the feet towards the hands, meeting in Uttanasana, forward fold. Good. Taking a moment hanging out here, literally just hanging out. As you inhale, feel the breath slightly lift you up and out of the pose. Good. And then as you exhale, soften through the feet, lengthen through the back of the legs as you hinge from the hips, releasing the head, neck, and shoulders down. Remembering that back body breathing, allowing the breath to fill the back body on the release, hinging from the hips and releasing through the head, neck, and shoulders. Good. Bending the knees and slowly coming all the way up. Okay, very good. Let's check our balance this morning. Bring your right foot in front of your left, heel and toe touching. And as you do, just check how your balance is. You might be surprised. This deceptively simple movement can be challenging for some. And just root your weight through the four corners of the feet. And notice if you bring a micro bend in the knee and connect through the four corners of the feet, there's a greater sense of stability. This is because you're broadening the base of support. Good, and coming back to Tadasana or mountain pose. Very nice. Let's start with our sun salutations. And let's begin. Inhale, arms up. And exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, send the left leg back. Inhale, flow the arms up. And exhale, down. Inhale, press back into downward facing dog. Holding here for a couple of breaths. Remember, on the exhale, yielding through the palms, so pressing your palms into the floor, then lengthening through the torso, sending your sit bones up and back to the wall behind you. check that your head's in line with your spine and that you haven't dropped it all the way down. Inhale, floating forward into plank pose, lowering down, knees, chest, chin, and coming up, low cobra or cobra if that's in your practice. Releasing down, press up and back, downward facing dog. Inhale, send the left leg back. Exhale, bring it between the hands, drop the right knee. And inhale, flow the arms up. Feel that nice lengthening through the spine. And exhale down. Step the feet together, lift halfway. And exhale, fold. Bend the knees, floating all the way up, arms coming towards the sky, palms together, and then down in front of the heart in an Anjali Mudra. Take a moment and find the pause. Inhale, arms up. And exhale, fold. Inhale, lift halfway. And exhale, send the right leg back. Inhale, arms up. And exhale, down. Inhale, press back, downward facing dog. Nice, slow, deep breaths. Remember, pressing into the floor on the exhale, lengthening through the torso, reaching to the wall behind you through the sit bones. Inhale, floating forward into plank, lowering down, knees, chest, chin, coming up into low cobra or cobra, and lowering down, pressing back, downward facing dog. You might start to feel the heat starting to build now. Inhale, send the right leg back. Exhale, between the hands, drop the left knee. Inhale, flowing the arms up. And exhale, down. Good. Step the feet together, lift halfway. And exhale, forward fold. Bend the knees, coming all the way up. And then down. Anjali Mudra, bring the palms together in front of the heart, find the pause. Good. And one more round, inhale, flowing the arms up. Nice, deep, full breath. Exhale, releasing forward and down. Inhale, lifting halfway. Exhale, send the left leg back. Inhale, arms up. You're going to hold the arms up. Good. Slightly internally rotate the left hip. Feel the connection from the right heel to the right sit bone to give greater stability. Good. As you inhale, feel the expansion of the lungs lifting the chest, opening you deeper in the pose. Lengthen from the tailbone through to the back of the neck to bring some space between the vertebra of the spine. Good. Open the arms out into cactus. So cactus arms. Good. Finding that fearless heart. Today I'm going to be fearless. Bring that quality of fearlessness in, the fire in your heart that is not afraid. Good. Inhale, bring the arms up. Exhale, down. And press back, downward facing dog. Staying focused, staying present. Nice, slow, deep breaths in and out. Inhale, coming forward into plank. Exhale, lowering down, knees, chest, chin. Coming up into cobra or low cobra. And down. Press up and back, downward facing dog. Inhale, send the left leg back. Exhale, bring it between the hands. Drop the right knee to the floor. Good. Support yourself by pressing the back foot into the earth and reaching up through the arms. Good. Internally rotating the right hip slightly, drawing the left hip back. Find that connection from the left heel to the left sit bone. Good. Inhale as the lungs expand, the chest lifts. And then as you exhale, sinking down through the pelvis, then lengthening from the tailbone through to the back of the neck, opening the heart and chest. Coming deeper into that with a cactus pose, opening out the cactus arms. Very good. Again, finding that fearlessness in the heart. Who would I be if I wasn't afraid? The yogi aims to be free from fear, to live authentically. Inhale, arms up, and exhale down. Good. Step the feet together, lift halfway. And exhale, forward fold. Bend the knees, coming all the way up. And bring the hands down in front of the heart, Anjali Mudra. Good. Preparing for Parsvottanasana or side angle pose. Please pay attention to my instructions with detail. Send the right leg back, and you're going to first lay the railway tracks for your posture. So that means that the inner arch of the back foot aligns with the heel of the front foot. So if I draw a line from the heel of the front foot straight, it should connect to the inner arch or the center of my back foot. Check that the left knee is positioned over the left ankle. Now, what's common in this posture is that we dump our weight into our elbow. In order to avoid that, start by pressing the back foot into the floor. And as you press the back foot into the floor, can you feel a force from the earth coming up through the side body and lengthening all the way to the top of the head? Then your elbow is just a gentle support on the leg. Bring the right hand on the right hip. Just like we started in our warm-up in the class, breathe into the navel center, and then exhale, rotate from the belly to open the heart and chest to the side of the room. Good. So the last part of this posture is where the arm comes in. Release the arm down and then swing it across the body and bring it up and over the head. Very nice. Good. Breathe into the navel center. Remember, just come to 80% of the pose. Exhale, press the back foot into the floor and use the force from the earth and direct it through the body. So now the train is running across the tracks, lengthening and reaching through the right arm. Check to see that you have a soft, mobile core. If you've restricted your breath, you are stopping the fluidity and transformative power of the posture. Very nice. Inhale, coming up. Turn the left foot towards the long edge of the mat. Coming for a wide-legged forward fold. Hands on the hips, inhale, lengthen. Exhale, hinge from the hips, folding forward and down. Good. Keeping a nice length through the spine. You can release your arms to the floor, taking a nice slow deep breath in and out. Good. Bring a little micro bend in the knee. Bring the hands on the hips to support yourself coming up. Good. So now we're going to face towards the opposite end of our mat and do the same thing. So slowly walking the back foot in, turning the right foot towards the top of the mat. Again, align your railway track, so the inner arch of the back foot connected to the heel of the front foot. Press the back foot into the floor and feel that lengthening up through the femur, lengthening through the side body. Good. You can bring your left hand on the left hip and then gently place the right elbow on the right leg. Good. Once you have that established, breathe into the belly in the navel center and gently open from the navel. So you're twisting from the navel to open through the spine. You're not initiating it from the shoulder. Initiate from your core. Once you have that, flow the left arm up and over the head. Good. And find that single line of force moving from the earth through the back leg, all the way through the side body and up, directing that force through the body. Nice, slow, deep breaths in and out. Good. If you're finding like you need a little bit more strength and support, draw an imaginary line from your right heel to your right sit bone. Feel greater support and stability there. Inhale, coming up. Turn the feet towards the long edge of the mat. Very nice. Hands on the hips. And one more time, lengthening and folding forward. Wide-legged forward fold. Good. With your hands on the floor as support, gently heel toe the feet in so you can come into a malasana or a deep squat. Coming down into malasana. Very nice. Bring the palms together. Press the elbows into the inner thighs or the inside of the knees, rolling the shoulder blades back and down. Dropping a plumb line from the top of the head, down through the coccyx into the earth. Nice, slow, deep breath. And sending the arms behind you, coming to sit on the floor. Turning back to face the top of the mat. And a short forward fold, Paschimottanasana. Okay, we don't have to go all the way in this posture. Starting with your hands out by either side, lengthen through the spine. Inhale, flow the arms up. And exhale, just gently fold forward, coming to wherever is comfortable for you. If your hands are just on the legs, that's fine. If they reach to grab the toes, that's okay too. But again, coming just to maybe 70 or 80% of your stretch capacity. As you inhale, feel the breath expand and lift through the upper chest. As you exhale, hinge from the hips as you lengthen through the spine, dropping your chest towards the center line of the body as you fold forward and down. The beauty of not trying to come into the full expression of the pose is that you have space for breath and gravity to work for you to take you deeper into the posture. Ideally, in any yoga posture, we're able to feel the undulating force of the breath through the spine. Breath by breath, slowly releasing down. And inhale, coming back up. And coming to our last posture, which is going to engage that tapasya and that fire, our boat pose or navasana. Good. Imagining that you have a tripod. And this tripod is right at those sit bones. So come and bring your sit bones and your coccyx connected to the earth. Hug the knees into the chest. You'll find the stability in the tripod. And then as you're ready, sending the legs out and opening the arms out to the side. Good. Relaxing the shoulders. Good. Breathing into the navel center. And then as you exhale, imagine a ball of light radiating from your navel center through the head, the tail, the arms, and the legs. Good. Tapping into that willpower, and for a moment connecting to that power of the mind. that is able to influence and empower the body. Nice, slow, deep breaths. We're going to hold for a little longer. If at any point you find it too hard, instead of collapsing, just release one heel to the floor rather than both. So keeping the legs up, we're going to hold for a few more breaths. Shaking is good. Holding for 5, 4, 3, 2. Holding. 0.5. And release. Draw the knees back into the chest. Bring them to the floor and slowly lowering down to come into a Shavasana. Before we completely enter our Shavasana, we're just going to do a gentle windshield wiper from side to side. Sighing out the breath, releasing and dropping from side to side. Again, keeping those windshield wipers going. And maybe just dropping them over to the right, holding them there, turning and looking at the left hand, relaxing. Nice, slow, deep breaths. If a deeper twist is in your practice and you want to do that, you're welcome to for a moment. Dropping them over to the opposite side. Good, turning, looking at the right. Coming back to center. And releasing the legs. Coming into a Shavasana. Arms out by either side. And as you lie here in Shavasana, start by relaxing the back of the head. Relaxing the eyes, letting them sink into the eye sockets. Relaxing into the darkness behind the closed eyelids. Relaxing the neck. Relaxing the shoulders. Relaxing the arms and the fingers. Relaxing the upper chest. Softening the muscles around the heart. Relaxing the upper back. Letting the ribs soften and melt out towards the side, down to the earth. As the organs become soft and heavy, sinking down like leaves to the bottom of a lake. Relaxing the mid-back and the lower back. Relaxing the groin. The front of the legs. The back of the legs. The heel, the feet, and the toes. Letting go. As you're lying down, I'm going to tell you a story. Once upon a time, there was a farmer, and his crops had performed very poorly that year. And so he cried out, saying, God, you're not a very good farmer. Perhaps you would give me the chance to decide the weather patterns this year. Let me control the weather, and I tell you, we'll have the most abundant crop that you've ever seen. Now, this must have been a long time ago, like in the biblical times, where you could just cry out to the Lord and the Lord would respond. And the Lord said, very good. In that case, I will let you control the weather. Tell me what you want for the year, and let's see how your crops fare. And so the farmer, when it began, he said, well, today I want it to be very sunny, and I want it not to be too hot, though. And like this, day by day, he decided what the weather should be, decided how much rain there would be, how much wind there would be, how much snow or frost or cold it would be. And like this, he instructed him for each season. At the end, when he went to go harvest his crop, he was very excited, for the wheat had grown quite tall that year. And when he went and he cracked open the wheat, he found that the kernels were empty inside. And he was so confused. He said, how is it? I ensured that everything was perfect. I gave the most excellent temperature and the most suitable weather to our crops, and yet the kernels are empty. And he said they're empty because they didn't have to go through any struggle. You see, if you had ensured that the winds were stronger, then the stalks would have to learn how to bend without breaking. And if you had made the winters colder, then the roots would have had to sink deeper to get water up from the earth. But because you made it too comfortable for them, they did not have soul in the kernel of the wheat. And so there's nothing to truly nourish you. And so let that be a lesson to us, that the difficulties in life, the changes in the weather patterns of our life situations and relationships, from hot to cold to fierce gales and storms, they are designed by life to bring soul into our wheat, to bring strength into our body, our mind, our energy, and our emotions. If we receive this as part of our tapasya, part of our discipline, then what happens is that it strengthens us inside, and that we may become sacred bread for God's sacred feast. So I invite you to, with that, make your way up to sitting as we close the class together. Coming to a comfortable seated position, relaxing the shoulders away from the ears. Repeating this affirmation in your mind. I am a center. Around me revolves my world. I am a center of influence and power, a center of thought and consciousness. I am a center. Around me revolves my world. I am a center of influence and power, a center of thought and consciousness. Feel this quality of clarity, grounding, knowing that your heart and your will are one. Let's close with the mantra Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Breathing in. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. The creative spirit of God flows in and through me. It illuminates my mind, regenerates my body, inspires me with creative ideas, empowers me with constructive actions, and easily and harmoniously arranges all of my circumstances. Every aspect of my life is now in divine order. May it be so, and so it is. Thy will be done. Use me as an instrument of grace so that my life becomes an answer to others' prayers. Amen. Namaste. Thank you for taking this class today. I hope you feel energized, empowered, recognizing the power of your will and the ability to face life's challenge with an open heart, a stable mind, and a conviction that you will see it through. See you on the mat soon.